Hey everyone, and welcome back to another truck driving vlog. Excuse my hair, it is a hot mess. I was gonna get in the shower tonight and wash it and all that good stuff, except for straighten it. That's a little bit more time that I, excuse me, than I have. But the showers are down, so no shower for me tonight. But I figured for this one, I would talk about at least what I can remember of the training process for my job now. So when you're going from the school to wherever business, whatever truck driving company you're working for, you have to go through training for who knows how long. Really, it's at the discretion of the trainer to see how well you're progressing, and if they say you're good to go, you're good to go. So it could be a month or more, who knows. And hopefully the background is a bit better this time. I was actually listening to the first one and I was just like, yeah, that's a lot of background noise. And that's so now it should be better because my truck is off and I unplugged both my little inverter surge protectors and my cooler. So everything else is unplugged. The truck is off. And the only background noise now would be the other trucks next to me, which the phone still picks up. So it shouldn't be as loud and annoying sounding, I suppose. So after I chose the company, I gave them a call and saying, yeah, I would like to work for you. Because like I said in the one previous, that the school sends out your resume to these other companies, and that was one of the companies that had contacted me and stuff. And I had talked to my family friend about which one should I go with because I'm not really sure. And he asked me to list the ones that I was thinking about. I listed the 4 or 5 of them, and he told me like, these ones aren't too good and these ones are pretty good. So I chose the one that I am with now. So when I called them to let them know that I wanted to be part of their team, they're like, oh cool, then you're hired, basically is what they just said to me. And I was like, you're not gonna do an interview? Like, sorry, I'm trying to like upload the other one at the same time and make sure that my computer doesn't disconnect from the internet at the same time while it's doing so. But I was like, you're not gonna do an interview? She's like, well, that'd be really impossible because I'm over here in Omaha. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that would be hard to do an interview. It's like, yeah, we just do background checks and you're cleared. We do check your driving record, and we do background checks and all that stuff. They're like, oh, okay, cool. So when would you like to go? When would be good for you to go to orientation? So they gave me the dates of when to go, and I think it started like on a Tuesday or something like that. Or it was either Monday or Tuesday. And I told her whatever day would work for me, and they're like, okay, here's the address. She gave me a list of things to bring, and just told me basically like, what to do when I get there. And so I get there. It's in Atlanta, so that kind of sucks. It's up there in Atlanta. I'm just like, oh, I hate driving up here. And it kind of tells you where I work, I guess. Not really. There's a lot of truck companies there. Whatever. And I lost my train of thought. So I get there, I get a little confused because my GPS is like doing whatever, and I get there, I check in with the guard, and I was like, I'm here for orientation. He's like, oh yeah, just straight down, park over there, go inside, the door's open, blah blah blah. I get there, get inside, and I followed the directions, and we're all sitting in this big, fairly big room, a bunch of computers and stuff like that, and we're all just kind of sitting there waiting for it to begin. And it's just basically talking about the company, kind of what to expect as a new driver and a person who's new to the company, basically. And my dog's being a creep right now. She like stares at me all the time like I'm doing something new, and I'm never doing anything new. She's such a weirdo. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But so what else? So it was like a lot of just basic introductory things and teaching us basically how to drive, like things to watch out for, scenarios, things that has happened to people, what to do when you get in an accident. It tells you about a kit that you get, like an accident kit, basically, which is like a disposable camera and this thing to write the information on, blah blah blah. And we had to take some online stuff as well. Like we had to do online training while I was there. So there's like no escape from like annual training of any kind, basically. So at like the next day or something like that, we made a login, and we had to do this online training for basic whatever, general knowledge and suches and things, and what to do with the weather, and basic annual training things for any job, but specific to being a truck driver. And there was quite a few. They gave us a list of things. We had to make sure we bring paperwork to set up like direct deposit, or if we wanted to go on this card, I think. And they had us take pictures for our ID so we can get into the buildings and whatnot and onto the terminals. I take horrible pictures, by the way. I've learned over the years that I have no choice but to mugshot all my pictures, because when I smile, I have really big cheeks. So my eyes are already like looking like they're closed, and then by the time they take a picture, I blink, so my eyes are like closed when they take a picture. So I was just like, figured if I just mugshot my pictures, it's just easier. So all my pictures are a mess. I don't have a choice. So what else did we do? We had to do another DOT physical. We had to do another one of those. My glasses were on point this time because we're not gonna have a repeat. We can't have a repeat. I already got my new glasses. It'd be ridiculous if I had another repeat of the fact that my eyes failed because I didn't have the right prescription. That'd be weird. So they check your eyes. They check to see if your peripherals work, if you can hear lower volume things, like they just kind of whisper something behind you and you have to repeat it. One of the forms they had you fill out was like your medical history, if you've ever experienced this in your family, or not in your family, but you personally and whatnot, what medications you're on. They also drug tests, which is obvious. Majority of the jobs do, and the ones that don't probably should. It was weird because it was the first drug test I've ever done. Well, actually, no, it's the second time I've done a pee test, and no one was there to watch me pee. As weird as that sounds, that's what they do in the military. When you do a piss test, someone is standing there watching you pee to make sure that you're not pouring in someone else's pee or something, So they sit there and watch you pee. It's really awkward. So 4 years of this, I'm just like, you're not gonna watch me pee? Okay. That was weird, right? But then they also do a hair test, which I've never had done before. So they basically take find a spot back in the back of your head, and they cut off a good little bit of hair to send back to the lab to make sure that that you haven't been doing any drugs, because I don't know how far back they can test with a hair follicle, but I know they can test pretty far back. So y'all might want to be clean if you decide to be a truck driver. I'm just saying. And don't drink either. Even though, well, that scared the crap out of me. It was just a string. Even though, let's say you're stuck at a truck stop for like 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever, the fact that you are in your truck, the fact that you're staying in your truck and not going home, you are considered on duty. So you drinking is illegal, and you could very well lose your job. Yeah, kind of sucks, because you be feeling them days, and it doesn't matter if you're done driving for the day and you got your 10-hour rest break ahead of you. No, you cannot drink, because the people at the truck stops, or if you go anywhere, they see your license, they're gonna report you. If they can figure out who you are, they will report you. So don't do it. Just wait till you get home. I don't know, there's a piece of hair driving me crazy. So just wait till you get home, and then you can do it. That's what I was just telling my friend, because he was, if you come through Virginia, hit me up. What people don't understand is visiting people is really hard. It's really hard, because there's no guarantee that how long I'll be there, or if I'll be anywhere near you when I stop. And then I have to get up early to get back on the road. So it was really not much time. And then they expect you to meet them. I'm like, dude, I'm not driving a car. You come see me. You want to see me. But anyway, I digress. The having them cut a piece of my hair was so weird. Like my hair was natural at the time, and they were in 2-strand twists. So she like undid one of my twists and then cut like a good part of that out, and then retwisted my hair over to cover that little short part out that she just added. So I was like, well, dang. So that was kind of weird, but it's whatever. So after, because you have to finish that list of annual training before you can, by the end of orientation, because that's like the orientation one. So you have to finish all that and whatnot. And they also start paying you in orientation as well. I don't remember how much, but they start paying you in orientation. They also feed you as well. So you're not just sitting there. You can bring your own lunch, but they also are catering food to you. So that was pretty cool as well. They were just telling us like these scenarios and stuff, and they told us what a runaway ramp is. That's pretty scary. That's literal, like when trucks are on the mountains and they can't stop. It's literally this off-ramp exit that's dirt and gravel. It's like a hill. If it's not uphill, if it's just straight, it's like gravel and has a big just mound of like dirt and gravel at the end of it to make you stop as a truck. So your brakes are out, gravity plus momentum plus the weight of the truck hitting them ramps. Oh no. That's pretty scary. So they talked about like just the basic things you need to know, like your brakes getting hot, what happens when they get hot, you don't stop, is your stopping distance increases. And it was just like they told us these stories. They told us this one story. He says if you get in an accident, it's between you, I think he said the fleet manager, it's between just you two, not him, not that, because he's like the orientation guy. Like you don't like come home and vent to just random folks. You just don't. Like it's between you and your fleet manager. But he told the class, because he's just giving an example because he knows, this guy was driving one day, and do I put a warning for this? I'm not sure if I put a warning for this. If you're sensitive to hearing about like death or suicides, skip over the next like 2 minutes or so. But he was driving his truck one night, and while he was driving, he passed under a bridge, under an overpass, and someone had that night decided to commit suicide, and he had jumped off that bridge. While him jumping off that bridge, he landed on this guy's truck, on the windshield, I believe. Either windshield or the hood of the truck, but he landed on his truck while this dude was driving. So imagine how traumatizing that could be. Like, that would be how that is. You're just minding your own business, all of a sudden this happens to you. So I definitely would either quit driving. I know I would need therapy, because I would see that every day, all day. So whenever I pass under bridges at night, I think about that, and I just hope it doesn't happen to me. I traumatize so easily. I really do. Like, it can be just little things, and things would just traumatize me. I'm just like disturbed for months, and I just hope that doesn't happen to anyone else in general. Look, just knocked out. I wish I could turn the camera around, but I can't do that on the phone. It won't let me. But also during orientation, they talk about the types of trucks that they have. So my company basically has, Peterbilt, freaking Kenworth, and Freightliner. And those are the three. I haven't seen any more Volvos. I don't think they have any at my company, but those are the three that they have. And they took us outside to also do a little bit of pre-trip practice as well, to go over, see if we remember anything. So we did a little bit of that. And then they took us through the graveyard, which is just always so depressing. Like, that really put in perspective of how dangerous this job can be, because the graveyard is just the few trucks like this they decide to keep that have gotten into accidents. And when you see how like mangled they are, it just really puts into perspective, like, when you crash hard. Like, there's a regular fender benders or whatever where the truck is fine, but the car is like dented up, but y'all are all fine. But then there's the real serious ones, and those they just keep the trucks from the real serious ones to bring it to your attention, like, hey, this can happen. And that was just like really scary and depressing at the same time. And there were some that had tarps on them, and we were all wondering, and someone came out and asked, like, why are there tarps on these ones? And he said those are the ones that have resulted in a death. I don't know if it was the death of the driver or the death of whoever they hit, but it resulted in a death. So it's just like, kind of regretting my decision of working here, because I'm just like, that could happen to me. That literally could happen to me. I don't know when, but that could happen to me. And it's just crap. It's so scared. But you gotta remember, though, accidents happen, but for them to be so severe, it most likely won't happen to you. As long as you're careful, you can avoid a lot of it, but sometimes you can't. Like, he's like, these are ones that have fallen asleep. And for me, the ones that have fallen asleep and hit something, that really hit me, because for some reason, when I driving makes me sleepy. Within the first 30 minutes to an hour, I'm nodding off while driving. I don't know why. I don't know why at all. But that's literally what driving does. And I feel like it's like I have slight narcolepsy, because my brain isn't doing anything. My brain is doing something. I'm wide awake. But I feel like my brain isn't firing off enough like electrical signals. It's not firing off these neurons as much as it would be if I was calculating something or whatever. So it's just kind of like, I'm getting sleepy and I'm kind of dozing. So that really scared me, because I can get a full night's sleep and I can be sleepy. And I never understood that. And I don't know, I think it's also that, and the fact that growing up, for road trips, all I could do is go to sleep. I would just go to sleep, because that's all I could do. Because I'm so prone to motion sickness, so I can't do anything. When any vehicle is in motion, can't do anything. Car, bus, train, airplane, boat, ship, whatever. All I can do is talk and sleep. That's it. Don't ask me to read. Don't ask me to play games. Don't ask me to watch a movie. Don't ask me to do no kind of homework. Nothing. Because I get so nauseous. Like, me and my mom used to butt heads as I was a kid, because she would tell me to do this stupid homework stuff, because she would sign me up for these programs to help me get better in school, because I suck at it. And she would tell me to do them in the car. She'd tell me to do them on the plane. And I would tell her, no, I feel nauseous. But she's like, stop. She would be like, nah, whatever. Dead ass. I'm sick as fuck. I should have kept doing it and then threw up on her. That'd have been a whole nother story. But I digress. So I think that kind of stems from that as well. That's why I get so sleepy. But I figured out a way around that from the regular sleepy. What I do is I chew gum, which is like the original, the old gum, like Bubblicious, I think, where it comes in the pink round thing. If I had one, I would show you. But I chew that gum or sunflower seeds. Those both keep me awake. The sunflower seeds, I put like 10 of them in here, and I just do one at a time, spit it into a bottle. That keeps me awake. Nighttime sleepiness, that's a lot harder, but sunflower seeds pretty much do it for the most part. That's the real sleepiness, is at nighttime. But lose her. I forgot what shirt I was wearing. I'm like, keep going off topic. But after the graveyard, that was a whole nother story. It really was. I did not like that. I guess I kind of forgot, about it, how dangerous it was and how scared I was, because I hadn't been in a truck since I got my license and everything, and I just kind of forgot how something could go wrong and I could possibly die. So it's just like, thanks for reminding me, guys. Thanks a lot. But it is what it is. So after you finish with orientation, you have to do, what is it else that you have to do? I'm trying to remember, because this was back in September, like August, September, I want to say, of 2018. So I'm trying to remember everything that I did in the orientation process up through training. So it's more like there's another, like, this the rest of the list of these mandatory annual trainings, and not annual trainings, but basic, the ones that you have to do to get done to move on to the next step. So you have to get those done, because it'd be easier to get it done before you go on the road with your trainer, because you don't have as much time. So they highly suggest that you finish those. So you have to do at least 2 a day. So if you finish that list, but you're still waiting for a trainer, you need to be doing at least 2 every day, so you can get paid. If you don't, then they're gonna put you on a leave of absence. You're not getting paid at all. So what I was doing in the meantime, because I was staying in the hotel up there, that was literally like down the street from the terminal that they were paying for and everything. And so during the day, basically, because that's all I had to do was the online training, all I did was I would do the 2 online trainings, and I would go home and play games and record for YouTube. So that's why I have like those few playlists done. It's because it was from the time that I didn't have a job till I went for training. So that's why all that is done a lot quicker than these current ones that I'm trying to squeeze in now. And so I sitting there waiting for a trainer. I was slowing around thinking that it was going to be a while, because they did tell me it was going to be a while, because they ask you what your preferences are. Because you stay in the hotel, you have to check in the morning at like 6 a.m. or something like that. And they ask you what your preferences are for your trainer. So for me, I wanted female only, non-smoking. Those are my preferences, female only and non-smoking, because honestly, I was not comfortable sleeping in a truck with a complete random dude. I wasn't, and my parents weren't having it either, to be honest. They were like, fuck no. You're not doing it. You better ask for a female trainer. I don't care. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not comfortable either. So that's what I asked for. And then I also asked for non-smoking, because I don't want to smell that. Like, cigarette smoke gets in everything, and then it never leaves. I don't want to breathe that in. I don't want to put on clean clothes and they're not clean, because that's what they smell like. I can't. It just gets in everything. So they're like, you're going to be waiting a while. They're like, do you care about automatic or manual? I'm like, I don't care either one. It's fine. It just has to be female, non-smoking. They're like, okay, well, you're going to be a while. So me slowing around procrastinating, all I was doing was doing the annual training and going home to play video games, record for YouTube, and enjoy myself. I got a phone call from my trainer. I had nothing packed. I had no one to watch my sugar gliders. I wasn't ready. So I was like, yeah, I can't go with you. I'm not ready. I can't. I have nothing packed. I have no one to watch my animals, nothing. She's like, okay, call whoever the people were at the office to let them know. So I called to let them know about that as well. They're like, okay, well, we're going to put you on a leave of absence till you are ready. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll be ready in like 2 weeks. So I had to figure out how I was going to pack everything and where I was going to leave my sugar gliders. So they give you a list when you sign up. When they send you an email, and it tells you what the recommended things that you need to bring. And I wish I had the list still. It's not in my email. Yes, it is. But the problem is, though, I have like 20,000 emails and I am not scrolling through them. So the main things is the amount of clothes to bring was the main thing. And they tell you to bring like at least 10 days worth of clothes, your sheets, your blankets, jackets, things like that, flashlights, some food. You talk to your trainer with that, because space requirements, so you talk to them about that. They hand you these books. They give you these books when you finish training about like whatever rules and regulations and other things. You bring all that stuff and whatnot. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to pack it all, all your hygiene and whatnot. So I found someone to watch my sugar gliders, which is their vet, because I had to go, because I have a veterinary clinic near where I live, but sugar gliders are considered an exotic animal. And so I had to go to another vet that was like half an hour away, which is where I took them anyway, to get their nails trimmed and to get my male sugar glider neutered. They could watch them. So that pretty much broke the bank right there with that. So I was like, can y'all watch them? They're like, for how long? I'm like, honestly, I don't know, probably a month. And because they're like, a month? I'm like, yeah, because I'm being a truck driver and I'm going to do training, and training could be a month or longer, and I can't bring them in the truck with me right now. They're like, oh, okay, now that's fine. Just call us when the month is up to let us know if you're going to pick them up now or if they have to stay out a little bit longer. I was like, bet. All right, thank you. And so I found some bags to use from Walmart, and I ordered some organizers off of Amazon and everything, and I went shopping at Target and wherever else I needed to go to get my stuff ready. So, and then what I was doing with that was, so after I came back from the 2 weeks, I called them like, hey, I'm ready to come back, I'm good to go. They put me back in the hotel room, and I was living in the hotel room, but I was still going back and forth from home to record and play games. But I was always coming back in the evening and everything, because I had to check in the mornings, which was a pain in the ass. But I was really trying to like do this YouTube thing because it was just so fun. It's so fun. I enjoy it. Even though the games I was uploading were like, they've already come out, so they're not like really gonna get a lot of views from people because they've already played it like years ago. But I enjoyed it regardless. And so I think I was there for like about 2 weeks after that, another 2 weeks, and then my trainer contacted me. And well, they sent me an email saying, this is your trainer, call her, she'll be there, whatever. So I called her. I was like, hey, I got a message saying that you're my trainer and stuff. She's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't checked, I'm driving right now. I actually have a student in my truck right now. I was like, oh, okay. So she was on her way, and she's like, she'll be there like in the evening or something. I was like, cool. I was recording something at the time too, which was hilarious. It was Destiny Halloween Festival of the Lost last year is what I was recording at the time. And I had a missed phone call from her saying that she was going to be here or something. So she was really nice. She was cool. Like, cause they kept like not in the orientation, but in the check-ins in the mornings, they kept talking about how like a lot of people were butting heads with their trainers. Like a lot of females were butting heads with the female trainers. And I'm just like, I'm not hearing good things. I don't like not hearing good things about this. I wish it would tell me what my battery is. It'll probably tell me when it's about to die. But I was just like, I don't want to deal with that, because then they're gonna drop you off, because it's like, if you don't get along with your trainer, they can drop you off at like the nearest terminal with all your shit, and you just sit there and wait for the next person to pick you up. Like literally, that's what they can do. And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with all that. And so I was kind of nervous, and it was making me regret my decision of choosing a female. But I was like, I don't really butt heads with people. Like, it will irritate the fuck out of me, and I will hate you, but I will sit there and take it. And I will sit there and take it till it's over. I've never been pushed to the point where I couldn't, so it would probably be that moment in time, because you're in such a close space. So, but I was really hoping, because I'm like, I don't know, it's just I'm not that type of person. So I would just hope that I wouldn't get a horrible trainer. So I meet her, and she's this really nice white lady. She's so nice. I was all worried. I'm all awkward, because I'm just awkward about meeting new people. You know, I'm just a shy, awkward, sheltered person. And it was weird, you know, whole new experience. She's like, yeah, I'm in my room if you want to, you know, come say hi, you know, whatever. So I went downstairs, and she's like, hi, my name's so-and-so. I'm like, hi, I'm so-and-so. She's like, bring it in, I'm a hugger. I was like, okay. That was really cool. She was really sweet. And she was like, do you want to go to Walmart to go grab anything? She's like, can you give me a ride to Walmart? Otherwise, because she didn't have a car, because she's from Texas. So she just had the truck. So I mean, you can drive the truck, but it's just easier if you drive a car. So I was like, yeah, I'll drive you to Walmart. I'll grab some things too and everything. So that it's a lot easier to go with your trainer, because you don't even know what the space really is and like that. So you kind of just ask around, but you don't try to bring too much, because you have to think you're sharing this small space with someone else. Excuse me. So you gotta be careful how much you bring. And so after we grabbed some things from Walmart, she gave me one of her spare keys, And she was like, you can go ahead and put the stuff in the truck now if you'd like. I was like, okay, cool. She's like, I have sheets. I just washed them and whatnot. I was like, no, it's fine. I bought mine. I went heavy duty, and I bought the mattress cover, a mattress pad to make it more comfortable, and then the sheet, blanket, pillowcase, so that whole set. I was going all out. You never know. You know what I'm talking about? Got all that from Target, by the way. And I was just going hardcore Target because I don't want to go to Walmart. It's too much work to get things from Walmart, because it's like you be searching for things and then you can't find nobody to help you, and then the lines be so dang long because all the registers ain't open. I was just trying to avoid going to Walmart at all costs. But anyways, so for training, I was gone for about a month and a half. A month and a half. I was gone for 6 weeks. 1 week I didn't even train because it was like we were down. I was at a hotel for 3 days because she had to take care of something at home. So they put me up in a hotel and she was doing whatever she needed to do at home. And then I was in training through Thanksgiving. So that was 4 days. So I was in a hotel for 4 days, and she invited me over to her family's for Thanksgiving. So that was really nice. She has a nice family, and the food was great too. So it was that whole week. So I was gone for 6 weeks, but I only trained for 5, and that was like the real like awakening for just the backing and everything, because what you learned in school, like I said in the last video about it, and even during orientation, they have you do like a little quick backing thing, to see if you can do it before you go off with your trainer. It's just the things that were taught in the school don't really work. And it works differently because I'm so used to how a manual feels, because you just kind of let things kind of roll. Manuals like to roll, but like automatics, you got to kind of push them to go, and it goes more than what's intended, and then the space isn't the same. Sometimes like the space is smaller than what you have to work with that you were taught. That's really what it is majority of the time. So there's a maneuver called a 45 that they were surprised that I didn't know. Unlike my school didn't teach 45, they taught, the other stuff, the straight back, the offset, the 90-degree alley dock, and parallel. They didn't teach a 45. And they tried to show me a 45. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Like, you can't just expect me to know how to do a 45. You just showed me once. Like, I have to practice this. So my 45 is a modified 45 than what other people do, but it works for me. So what does it matter? It works for me. I don't hit anything. But training, it was just, they try to take you everywhere. So video save recording. Okay, that's fine. But what they do is your trainer asks to basically go all 48, trying to make sure that you experience everything. And I think the first 2 days are observation days, so you're just watching your trainer drive. And then after that, you start driving, but you're not allowed to drive at night, which is perfect for me because I can't drive at night. Like, I can drive like I'm just driving at night, but you want me to drive all night till the sun comes up? It's not working for me. That's not gonna work. I can't stay up. It's not gonna work. You're just asking for me to crash and kill us both. So, there's no amount of practice or training that I could do for that not to happen. We'll just stick to daytime. That's another reason why I couldn't do teams, because you would have, whoever the teammate is, you have to drive at night, because I can't do it. I know I can't. But so she drove at night, which she usually does anyway when she does teams, so she kind of prefers it anyways. And even when she does solo, she gets up at like 3 a.m. to drive, and I can't even do that. That hurts. I can't even get up now. It's gotten to the point where getting up at like 6 is too hard, or 5 is too hard now because I'm that tired. But we just went everywhere. But most of the difference is, though, she wasn't on a dedicated account, so most of the places we just dropped and hooked up to a new trailer. We didn't have to really worry about getting loaded. It was like maybe once or twice. It wasn't that many times. But most of the time, it was like a drop and hook situation in these big places. Because the drop and hooks are usually bigger factory-like places like Amazon and Walmart, things like that. Really big places. You got plenty of space to work with and everything. But me, I'm just struggling over here trying to back into these spaces because I'm nervous and everything, because I'm so new, and then I'm like trying to rush. I don't want to take too long because, you know, other people are trying to do what they need to do too and everything, and it just adds to it. And I'm just like so frustrated, and I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to like make it through training because I can't back. And the thing is, you have to remember, don't let anyone rush you. Don't let anybody rush you. Let them rush. If they want to rush, that's fine. Let them hit things. But you take your time. You take the time you need to get into that spot so you can do it right and not hit anything. Screw them. It doesn't matter. If they want you to hurry up, they can hop out that truck and help you and tell you where to turn and stuff. But if they're not going to do that, take your time. Don't worry about them. That's what I've learned. Don't do that. Don't. Just do you. Once you remember that, you're just kind of fine. You're fine after that. So a lot of struggling with backing, just getting used to, for one, driving an automatic, because I'm not an automatic, because it went from being in a manual and everything. So learning how that works and how everything in there is set up, because they just teach you, you know, how to drive. You learn about all these other braking systems and the cruise control, the manual brake, and the engine brake, and the trailer brake. It's a lot of brakes. And all that. And cruise control. I've never used cruise control before, so cruise control is really weird to me, and I don't like it because the truck is driving itself and I'm just steering. I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. It's speeding up and slowing down on its own, and it's just really weird to me. I don't like it at all. She requested us to go west so I can experience driving in the mountains. I was not happy about that. So we went to California. The whole state speed limit is 55 for trucks. That sucks. And then had to drive there and drive to Oregon. And those mountains suck too. I was so scared because it took me till, by the time I got out of the mountains, because I wasn't going to stop anywhere on those mountains. By the time I got out of there, my clock was almost out. I needed to take a 30-minute break. Like, that's how long it took me, because I was scared shitless. I was white-knuckling it the whole time, and all these other trucks were just zooming by because they're just like, I'm scared. I don't care. Speed limit's like 60. I'm going to go 70. I'm over here trying to go 45, and she's like, you're a safety hazard. You can't go 45. I'm just like, fuck, I'm scared. But she was nice enough. She stayed up because she was driving at night. But she stayed up with me and sat next to me. Like, she was kind of dozing off and everything, but just her presence being there next to me made it easier. Because holy fuck, it's scary, because all you see is just drop off of death to your right, you know, and you just, it's not fun. Or like, if you're going up, you're like, why am I still going up? You're going up and up and up. It's just like the down part is what sucks. So I hated that because it was just like, we were in California, I did that, and then this guy that works with my company, they sent a message through the onboard computer saying I should call, and I called, and he was just basically checking up on me to see how I was doing in training. Like, am I getting better? What are my struggles and whatnot? And I'm like, yeah, backing, I still need work. I'm still working on it. Things don't work out when I try to do it. And my trainer was trying to teach me the 45, but it was kind of like, it just wasn't really sinking in for me. And I was like, mountains are extremely scary. I hate them. I hate them so much. He's like, yeah, that's a big thing for people. And after, we just had a conversation about just basically they just called to check in on new drivers to see how they're doing, and I thought that was really cool. That was nice of them. But I felt like that was so disrespectful because we got a message to pick up a load and I had to go back up the mountains again. I was like, how dare you? We just had a heart-to-heart about my struggles and how much the mountains scare me, and you're gonna do this? And you're gonna send me back through the mountains? I think that's when it sent me through Oregon. I think that's what it was. That was so horrible. And I have 2 friends that live there. Oof, my hip. At the time, sorry, I was just checking to make sure my battery's not dying because I did unplug everything and I turned the truck off. My lights are on, the truck is off. So, yeah. It's gonna be a while, but it's not gonna kill the battery. That would suck. That would suck, but it's only been like 46 minutes. It's not, that won't kill the battery. I'd have to leave it on like all night. But yeah, at the time I only knew one friend and that lived in Portland, Oregon. I was like, hey, I'm going through Portland, Oregon. He's like, what? You should say hi. I'm like, I wish I could, but we're just passing through because we're working, Like, it'd be easy if I was by myself and I'm with my trainer, and we're in a truck, so it's a lot harder. So we were basically in and out of Portland, Oregon in the same day. That's why I say that earlier, that trying to see people when you're passing through the states is extremely hard. It's extremely, extremely hard to do. So, that didn't happen. And I found out later that I have another friend that lives in Portland, Oregon too. I was like, well, hey, that's a small world too, y'all. Why y'all gotta live so far? I ain't trying to spend money to see y'all. I'm just kidding. Oh, as much, but you do what you do. So we was like, and then I experienced a little bit of snow. I did drive in snow. I drove in rain. The snow was interesting because the windshield started to freeze and I couldn't get it off the windshield and everything. So we were just like, we kind of camped out at the nearest truck stop. So that's also pretty cool because it's like, if you feel it is unsafe to drive, all you gotta do is just let them know, like, hey, this is what the weather's like and I'm just gonna camp out and wait for it to die down. Like, that is perfectly fine because they don't want anything to happen to you or the freight. Because if something happens to you in the freight, it'll be like your fault because you saw the weather, and that's poor planning on your part because you didn't do what you needed to do. But they don't have a problem with that if you have to stop, because I've done that at least. I've stopped at least 3 times due to weather that I can think of since I've been driving by myself. You just have to let them know. That's all it is. Because they can see where you are, and they can see that, they can then cross-reference that with whatever weather app, and they can see like it's getting real over there. So, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't remember everywhere that we went exactly, but it wasn't a lot of sightseeing. That's the thing that people think it is. You just see anything that's on the highway. It's not like you're going through actual attractions that people normally go to cities to see. It's highway, and if you're driving in the mountains, you see like the scenery there maybe, or some beautiful trees, or you're driving over a bridge, over a lake, a swamp, whatever. It's that kind of thing. It's not anything too fancy, to be honest. It's not. It's really not. Like, I saw these really giant cactuses. That was pretty cool. Here on the West Coast, I woke up and she had pulled over on the side of the road because her time was up and it was time to switch. And there's like huge cactuses. I'll have to post the pictures later. But I was like, I really want to take a picture next to these cactuses. I really do. She's like, okay, I'll just take a picture. And so there's a picture of me standing next to the cactus with my arm all the way up, just to show you how tall that cactus was. And I still didn't reach the top. That was a tall ass cactus. I didn't know they can get that big. So that was pretty cool. I was really afraid though, because I had to walk over this brush, and then there was like this brush here and there, and I was just like, please no rattlesnakes. Please no snakes. I can't get bit. I don't want to get bit. I just want to take a picture of the cactus, get safely back in the truck. Okay. And we saw somebody when we were in the mountains. They kept pulling over on the side of the road to play in the snow. I guess they had never been in snow before, but it was cute because you're just like, oh my gosh, it's snow. And it wasn't even a lot. It was like barely dusted to the ground, and they were just kind of playing in it, and it was just like, y'all are silly. So but most of the time it's just your trainer, you're in the truck, I'm driving, she's asleep, then she's driving, and then I'm asleep. And there's the two beds, as you can see. This is the other bunk. There's not another mattress because I didn't ask for another one, but that's how it is. It's set up, and it has hers had a ladder right here that kind of folded up, but that she had that newer fancy model. She had like 2018 model Freightliner. I have a 2016, so it's a little bit different with how it's built. But so when you're sleeping, you both are basically on the bottom bunk, is basically what it is. And she was on the bottom bunk because she's older, it's her truck, so she can sleep on the bottom if she wants to. And she had a really bad hip and stuff, so I would never make her climb up there. And so I don't like that. Honestly, I don't want to sleep on the same bed as somebody else. Those are your sheets, I don't want to be on the same bed. So that really irked me. And so that made me very uncomfortable at night. So now we're kind of getting into the reasons why I don't want to team, basically. So I was basically sleeping on her bed. So I took my blanket and I laid it down on her bed, and I slept, then I folded it over me like a taco. And so I was using my blanket to cover for me laying on her bed, and I set my pillow on my blanket, and it was just an uncomfortable thing to me. Because I washed my sheets and everything, but I don't think she had washed hers, to be honest. I think they were just there. Like, honestly, I feel like, I don't know, that, like, I don't think she washed them before I even got in the truck, to be honest. I don't know. But it's just, I'm kind of OCD about other people's things, and having to stay on someone else's bed, on their sheets, it was just very uncomfortable to me. And then it just got to the point where we're in the same space for so long, and we never butt heads. We didn't argue about anything. The only thing that she had a problem with was I tend to take long showers, and they'd be unintentional, but they would be long showers. So that was like the only thing that was a problem. But excuse me, other than that, we were cool. But it was just the fact that we're in the same space and I see you all the time, that I was just like, you're still here. Why the fuck are you still here? I like her. She's cool to talk to. I didn't mind her being there, but it's just like, with my personality, I'm just like, I can't leave to be alone, to not be around people. I'm just like, is training over yet? So I can just be alone. I just want to be alone. Can't have any of that. I don't want to see people. You're too bad. So you have your trainer. That's who you're with all the time. And then it's just sleeping with the truck in motion was very uncomfortable. Like, after a point, I started passing out, because it was just like, driving, you don't realize how much work it is, like how much it drains you until you go to sleep at night. Like, you don't think it drains you at all, but then you lay down to go to sleep and you're gone. You are gone. But it's like I get a case of motion sickness at the same time sleeping with the truck in motion. So that's another reason why I don't do teams, because I'm gonna have to sleep with the truck in motion and I don't like it. So it's just like you're sleeping but the other person's driving, so you gotta hope that they don't fall asleep and kill you both. While you're sleeping, you ain't gonna see it coming, but they will. And then there's just the fact that you feel every bump if they're not careful with the way they drive, with the way they hit their brakes. If people drive crazy at night, that's where the drunk people are at, late at night. So there's also that. You can get thrown out of the bed that way. That's also why you don't sleep at the top bunk. They have this thing, if you can, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a net that you can hook up to the front or whatever, so you don't fly out of the bed and everything. But you just feel every bump, and you have to be like really careful so you don't disturb their sleep, so they can get enough sleep, so they can drive in the morning. And it's just a whole hassle of just being uncomfortable. I don't like that idea. I like the truck to stop when I'm done for the day, and the only thing I need to hear is just the engine running. The truck doesn't need to move, it doesn't need to move at all. So I don't like that. And then they also the reason why they tell you not to sleep in the top bunk, because in case the person driving isn't paying attention or doesn't catch it in time, they could hit a low clearance. So those bridges that you drive under on the highways all the time, if you look, they have a height measurement on it. And that's not for y'all cars, it's for us. That's why it's there, so we know if we're too big for it. If you're not careful, you'll hit one that's too low. A typical truck and trailer is 13 feet 6 inches. So you hit anything less than that and you're done. You're stopped. You're stuck. So that's also why they don't recommend anyone to sleep in the top bunk while the truck is in motion, because it's not going to end well for the person sleeping up there. So that's part of the reason why I was like okay with the fact that I was at the bottom, because it was just like, you never know. I see low clearances all the time. Well, not all the time, but I see them. But I haven't had to experience being stuck in them or turning down that way and seeing that it's a low clearance and being stuck in the road, because I can't go forward and I can't go back. I have to wait for police escort for me to go back. So thankfully, knock on wood, I don't have any wood to knock on. This is fake wood. It's close enough. But yeah, that's another reason why you don't sleep in the top. I'm trying to think. There's really nothing like really significant. It's just you learning and getting used to driving this vehicle. So remembering how to turn, like they teach you in the school. You have to turn wide and everything like that. And you just kind of, it's just something that you really get from experience as well. Because like you sitting there with your trainer and you just ask them all these questions. You just ask them questions. That's what they're there for. Ask them questions. Just ask them all the time. And that's what I was doing. I was asking her all the time. So it makes things easier when someone else is there, because you don't know what you're doing. You're so uncomfortable with it, and just the trainer being there makes things infinitely better. But I mean, it's nothing to I can't think of a word for it, but that's basically all the training is. It's like you're just gone for whatever amount of time, a month or more. They're just teaching you just kind of what you need to do to make a delivery and whatnot, the paperwork procedures, how to send in the macros, which ones to send in, because it's a whole list of like 60 of them. And then there's like a paper with a printout of them as well that my company has. You learn how to do the paper logs as well, which is I currently have to do now because my Qualcomm is down and it's company wide. So everybody's is down. So that kind of sucks. So right now I'm doing paper logs. But I don't remember how to do them, but I am trying my best. What else do you learn? You basically you're learning how to drive in any weather, in traffic. Traffic sucks, but once you turn that idle on and you're in that real slow traffic that doesn't move, you just pull them brakes and just sit there. I can't imagine how it feels with a manual, because holy crap. My legs are tired from just it being in the school with a manual. I can't imagine being out in the road with a manual. Like, no thanks. I didn't experience putting chains on the truck because we didn't go anywhere where it snowed that heavy that we had to put chains on the tires for traction. Thank God for that. Hopefully I'll never have to deal with that, because it's not something I'm going to remember, because chains is only a certain time of the year. So you have this whole year of not doing it, and I'm not going to remember how to do it. So I would be like, I highly suggest you don't send me anywhere like that. That's what I would suggest. Extreme fog, where like after the car went about 100 feet or so away, it completely disappeared. That's some dense fog, if you ask me. Your clock running out because you have 70 hours to work with. 70 hours runs out by the 7th day. Sorry. I don't know. The angle would be kind of weird if I turned it around trying to get my dog in it. But she was having a dream. I don't know if the phone picked up that sound, but she was having a dream when she was hopping and everything. But I'm trying to catch more light. Jesus. And then sorry about how bad the lighting is. I'm just using what's in the truck, and I mean the truck lighting is really good, but not for vlogs. But I make it work. She is knocked out, like she's on her back. She's gone. It's so funny. What else did we do? They teach you do the pre-trip as always, what to look for in the trailer as well, because I mean you do a pre-trip on the trailer, but then there's kind of more things you got to look out for when you're out on the road. It's just things that you just don't think to look at, and then you get caught with it, like it did for me. Like I had broken hinges and I never thought to look at the hinges. So you pretty much gotta look at everything, not just the lights to make sure they're working, not just the tires, make sure they're not flat or anything. It's a lot of things. And it just, the training felt like it was going on forever. It really was. Like even the days felt like they were going by so slow. And I was just like, just counting down the times until it was time for me to take a 30-minute break. But then like when the 30-minute break is up and your whole clock resets back to having 8 full hours, you're just like, did I even do anything? Fuck. That's just really how it felt like. I was just really hoping for the day to be over, and it just took forever. Like it was just going so slow. So slow. And I'm not a fan of driving long distances either. So that's another thing about this I was not a big fan of. Like I had never driven a long distance until my second duty station when I was stationed in Virginia. So driving from Georgia to Virginia is 10 hours. So that was my first long distance driving, and it was hard because I was getting so sleepy and everything. And then I got used to it. But I still didn't like doing long distances. So now here I am as a truck driver, and that's all I do all day, every day, 24/7. Like that's all I do. So it was just an agonizing thing. You just need music is really all you can do. If you do audiobooks. I had my headphones in because, I had my trainer in the truck too. So I can't just having stuff blasting and she's trying to sleep. That's rude. I think that was it though for training. It was just you getting used to it and practicing and everything. And they kept sending me messages, seeing if I wanted to be on these accounts and stuff. And They asked me if I want to do flatbed. I was like, no. No. Flatbed, you have to stop like every 2 hours to tighten your chains and your straps and your tarp down, so you're on the side of the highways and all that. No. And then with my skin condition, I can't be out in the elements like that because I can't wear stuff to keep me warm and whatnot. So I'm really not trying to be out there. And it's a lot more work and a lot more stress. And I have OCD, so it was just like I'd be late just because I'd be triple, quadruple checking everything that I already checked. We're never going to get anywhere. So let's not do that. Let's just forget about doing that. No. So December rolled around, and I thought me and my trainer thought that we were gonna be rolling through Christmas. So, or we're not really rolling through Christmas, but like getting close to Christmas. And then I was going to take 2 weeks off to spend Christmas at home and then go officially work on my own. But I ended up coming home sooner than we both thought. Like, we thought I was going to be out for another week or so. And they were like, no, you can go ahead and head home now. We're going to send you a load back that way, like loads back that way. So I was like, oh, cool, I get to go home. It kind of ruined my plan because I'm trying to take 2 weeks to go back to work in January. But it's whatever. So we get back, I get all my stuff out of the truck. Because like everything was just like, I just stacked everything in a corner basically after I made my bed. So that's where all my bags and stuff was. So when I did sleep up there, when the truck was stopped for the night, which wasn't very often, it wasn't really comfortable just because of where my bags were. I couldn't really stretch out my legs too much. But when I got back to the terminal, they put me back in the hotel, which the hotel is nice, by the way. Then there's the things that we had to do to finish up with training. So there was these things, we had to do a trainer evaluation to, evaluate how good our trainer was and stuff. And she was great. She's really patient, because I was just like the backing was the hardest thing. Driving wasn't the issue. I was unsure about a lot of things, unsure about weigh stations and all of them. And most of the time we just skipped weigh stations because we have that pass or whatever. And most of the time we don't even have to go through them, or the weigh stations are closed for the time being. But we had to turn in our paper log, and I half-assed those. I just did them to the point where I can just write the stuff in later. Like I did the hours part, I just had to write the physical numbers and stuff. But I didn't write the actual locations of where each status change was. So since I didn't do it properly, I had to do like another e-trainer for that or something like that or whatever. I don't know. So after I turned those things in, everything, I don't remember what else I had to turn in. I had to turn something else in as well. I had to do some other e-trainers. I had to take a backing class, and I had to do this simulator and this other class, I can't think of what it's called, to completely finish out everything. So that took another few days because it was just a waiting list of people. Oh, and had to be tested out by another, like a trainer that stays at the terminal. So it was just being on a waiting list. So that took a few days. I think that took like a whole nother week as well. Meanwhile, like, I'm racking up this veterinary bill for my sugar gliders because they've been there from the time that I came off of leave of absence till then. So they've been at the vet for 2 months. 2 months. Some little critters were at the vet for 2 months. You want to guess how much that bill was? $1,000-something. Yeah. Yeah. That sucked. But after I finished all that training, I was like, who do I talk to about taking a leave of absence, because I didn't have a fleet manager yet. And that's who you would ask. And they were like, you ask the terminal manager. So I went in there to talk to the terminal manager, and because you're supposed to talk to him anyway when you graduate, when you finish the whole everything, and they signed you out of everything, you have no holes or anything like that. So he was like, how long you're trying to take? I was like, I'm trying to take 2 weeks and everything. I think what it was I was trying to take 2 weeks because I wanted to get my car fixed as well. That's what that was why I took 2 weeks. Because I wanted to get my car fixed because my dad had hit it and it was like scratched paint off and dented it, so they're like this rusty spot that was driving me crazy. So I was trying to get that fixed, and I was trying to also get the heater fixed because my heater went out in my car. Perfect timing, right? In the winter. The fuck. I ended up just getting the heater fixed because I realized the time of year it was. I was like, crap, it's the holidays. And it took it didn't take as long as they said it would to fix the heater, because they said it was going to have to stay there for a couple days to do a diagnostic, but I picked it up the next day. But it was just the time of year, I didn't realize it, that my car would probably stay longer than what I had asked for. So I was just like, I'll worry about another time. So I stayed for the 2 weeks, and I was recording for YouTube and everything like that. And kind of just getting a break from just being in the truck for so long, because this is every day just literally felt like it was going on forever, and I was just literally just counting down the minutes for my shift to be over, because it was just, I was so bored and I just didn't like it. I was like, fuck, this is forever and a day. Like I would just sit there and drive the whole day, and I wasn't even listening to music. I was just driving. I didn't listen to music till it got later in the day for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just how I did it. But I was just like, I'm not trying to go back to work right away. So I had to get up my sugar gliders and wash everything and whatnot. And then when I officially came back, that's when they issued me the truck. So I was like, I'm here to pick up my truck, get a truck or whatever. When I finally came back to work after 2 weeks, they were like, which one do you prefer? And I said Freightliner, because that was what my trainer had, and that's what I was used to driving. So they gave me these two choices. She was like, here, look for this number or this number, and let us know which one you want. The first one was a white truck. Looked clean, didn't look damaged or anything like that. And the other one was a light blue one. I wanted blue. But blue is blue, so I chose the blue one, obviously. And I was just wondering if I'm going to get and I asked if I was going to get some time before I actually got a load to clean my truck. And they're like, we clean the trucks for you, don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, you do, but I just want to disinfect it. Just go over it with some bleach real quick to make me feel better. There's only so much cleaning I can do, but at least I feel better the fact that I sprayed stuff down with bleach. Even if I can't get the stains out or something, it's permanently stained with ink or whatever oil that they spilled, at least I know I went over everything in with bleach, and I feel better about it before I even start putting my stuff in here, So that's what I really wanted to do, was that. And it worked out anyway, because by the time I got my truck, it was, I think, a Thursday, and it was a holiday. So they closed early. So I couldn't get all the stuff that I needed anyways, because I needed a mattress and whatever other stuff I needed to get. And I had to talk to somebody in the office for something. That was weird. Something popped up. I didn't see it. But I still had the time to do what I needed to do. So I really didn't want to put anything in here until I went over it with some kind of cleaning solution. It was the same thing when I was in the Marine Corps, when I got a room, because I was getting rooms by myself because I was an E5, and I would sterilize everything in bleach before I moved it in. The walls, the wood furniture, the floor, everything was getting bleach to it. Everything. Like I was killing myself. It was burning me so bad. So, but I mean, they're pretty understanding about things though. My company's pretty lenient. So it's not like I was making an excuse. That's just literally like how I would get comfortable. And and luckily it was a truck that no one smoked in. It wasn't a smoker's truck, because you can't get that smell out. I don't care what you do. You can't get that smell out. There's no way. You have to tear out everything and replace it. So that's why I'm like, when people smoke, they're just inside where they live. I'm just like, you're destroying everything. So thankfully, because if both trucks smelled like cigarette smoke, I'm like, you're going to have to find me another Freightliner. Find me another one somewhere. Because I'm not driving it. But thankfully, I don't even know if when the last time someone driven the truck, but there was no issues. So with it whatsoever, with like engines or whatever else could be wrong with the truck, it was nothing. When you pick the truck, they hand you this paper to mark down all the dents and scratches that you see. So they know if something changes, it's you. It's you. You did it. And if it's not you, or if it is you, you need to report it as time goes on. So far, I haven't done anything to the truck, so that's good. And then after that, you're on your way. You ask for a mattress, and they're just like, you don't have a mattress in there? I'm like, no, there's no mattress in here. They're like, oh, okay. So they hand me a mattress on this twin size bed. It's already in plastic because it's brand new, and they hand you a mattress cover. So I put a mattress cover over the plastic covered mattress, and then I have my own mattress cover that I bought from Target and then so I'm just like extra for no reason, but that's just me. And now I am on the road by myself, and it's not as bad as it was in training at all. It's completely different. It was very scary at first because now it's just you and you got to figure it out. That was the thing. It's just you. You have no one to ask. Well, I mean, I could still call my trainer to this day. I can still call her and ask her, or my family friend too. But you don't really have time to make a phone call though and wait for them to pick up to make a decision. So it's you and your skills now. You got to figure it out. You're a big girl. You're a big boy now. You got to do it on your own. Training wheels are off. So that was the thing right there for me. Because like the first day, I think like the first day I went to do my first load, was testing all my backing skills. It tested it all because I grabbed a trailer, but then they told me I couldn't grab that trailer because it needed maintenance, and I didn't see that. So they signed the trailer out to me, but then I couldn't take it because it needed maintenance, so I had to put it back. And then the gate, because there's only one way in and one way out, it's two different areas. The gate was closed. Something was wrong with it, so people had to go out the front. So when I went up there, they were like, you can't take that trailer. You're not authorized to take that trailer. It needs maintenance. Put it back. And when you get a new trailer, go out the regular way because it's fixed now. I was like, fuck. So now I got to back up all this way, follow the curvature of the road, don't hit these cars that are parked here, so till I can turn right. So that was a lot of work. And then I had to park the trailer and then go get another trailer and then finally leave at like 5 p.m. in Atlanta traffic and to go pick up my first load, and then trying to find somewhere to stay for the night because it was already getting late by the time I picked up by the time I got loaded. So that was an interesting trip right there. And they were rushing me too, like, you need to hurry up and get there. I'm like, Do you not realize where I live? Do you not realize where I am right now? You just sent me, I finally got released during peak hours of traffic in Atlanta. I ain't going nowhere. You take your time. You get some patience. Wait. But now the days go by pretty quickly, to be honest. There are days where it feels like it's going by really slow, but the driving is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. It's not really as boring. It's not really as tedious. Sometimes I feel like I really feel like I don't want to work today, but that's everybody. Everybody has those days where they don't want to go to work. It's not just me, you know, but it's gotten severely better. Severely. And it's not, driving by yourself is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Don't let anyone tell you that. Sure, driving as a team, you earn more money. You have to stay out on the road longer as well. But I don't want to deal with that. I can't. I don't have the personality to be stuck in a truck with someone for so long. Like, this is already driving me crazy at the fact that I'm gone for 2 weeks at a time and only home for less than 48 hours because like most of the time I'm sleeping. Like half of those days I'm sleeping or whatever, 8 hours. Less than that, 5 to 6 hours a day. So it's not that bad. It's gotten so much better. Just even by myself, I'm the type of person that doesn't mind being by themselves. Being as I did grow up as an only child, being by myself is not a big deal, to be honest. I don't mind it. I don't mind seeing people every now and again, but this job is not something that I hate because I'm lonely. I don't really get people lonely. So if you get people lonely, this might not be the job for you. Granted, you can be around people because there's truck stops and everything, but it's like it might not be for you. But at the same time, you gotta do what you gotta do if you're having trouble finding a job like I did. And then getting used to the whole space requirements. So that's also a thing. Since I am a solo driver and I have a double bunk, I use this lovely thing for storage. Stack as much as I want up there. Stack as much as I want everything. I'm using every inch of space for me and my dog. It's like perfect. The only thing that's missing is an inverter so I can have a microwave in here. And I would like some sort of a freezer, some kind of a freezer that I can meal prep and freeze food. That'd be great. That's if you have like those new trucks. They don't give new drivers the newer model trucks. Understandable. But I don't want a brand spanking new truck. I just needed an inverter. And I don't know why they didn't buy trucks with inverters when you're basically living in this. This is your house. This is your house. Your mobile home. And they don't have a means for you to warm up your food. That sucks. Truck stops do have microwaves, but half the time I don't even want to leave my truck. Like, I just feel safer the less I have to leave the truck. So I didn't really leave the truck that much. And now that I have a dog, I leave the truck every 2 to 2.5 hours to let her out to use the bathroom. That's about it. But I don't roam outside too much. So that's another reason. I don't know why my family and friends want to come with me. This is before I got the dog. I think they think this is some kind of a road trip. It's completely different from a road trip. A road trip, you're specifically going somewhere and you're specifically doing detours to see the sights that these different states and the cities have to offer. That is not what we do as a truck driver at all. At all. Not even close. All we see is highway. Highway, highway, highway. And whatever is on the sides of the highways. So anywhere from traffic to car accidents to just farms and crops, cows, occasional nice scenery of trees and mountains maybe, but you're gonna be bored. Like, honestly, I try to tell these people, I try to tell my friends, you're gonna be bored, because we're literally in this truck for at least almost a full 24 hours at a time. Like, probably, I want to say anywhere from like 18 to 20 hours a day in this truck. And you're gonna be bored. There's no TV. I mean, there's Wi-Fi if I can get to a truck stop that has it, like a Love's Flying J or a Pilot, because Petro and TAs act like they can't afford good Wi-Fi. They got that dial-up shit. If you can even connect to it, it's like dial-up. So, yeah, I try to explain to people. So now that I have a dog, I'm like, there's definitely no space for y'all. There's no space for nobody else in here. Just me and Robin. Wake your butt up. I'm so mean. But it's just, I'm just like, I don't know why y'all trying to come with me. And the diet isn't the greatest either. I forgot to say something about that, because it's really hard to eat healthy, honestly. You can only bring so much food in here, and then there's not a lot of healthy choices out on the road, to be honest. There's only, whatever these truck stops have. Like, granted, there's like a lot of them have restaurants like Denny's. This one has a Huddle House, or I can't think of the other two for some reason. Iron Skillet and country something. Can't think of what it is called. It's country something for the other one, but and Subway. But it's just like, it's a lot of fast food. That's all it is. It's really all it is. The diet's not the best. You don't take a shower every day. I haven't taken a shower in like 2 days. Let's be honest right now. I haven't taken a shower in like 2 days. It's like, and I'm not able to take a shower today because the showers at this truck stop are down. So I look a hot mess. Like, I need to wash my hair. And I haven't had any time to straighten it, so it always looks a mess. But I think this shower thing is what a lot of people aren't going to be able to work around. Because my trainer told me straight up, we are not going to be able to take a shower every day. I usually take a shower every other day. So that's what she said. And when I started out on the road, I was literally taking a shower every day. But then when it came down to it, it's really impossible to do so sometimes, because you have to stop earlier. At least for me. To get to a truck stop and park. And that was a lot. And that was definitely before I even got there's a booklet there's a little book that you can buy at truck stops that has like the list of like every truck stop from whatever year it was printed, and whatever highway it is and whatever exit it is on that highway. And then I finally downloaded the app Trucker Path, and it shows them all as well. All the truck stops, the parking areas, and all that stuff as well. So now it's a bit easier, but since I am so tired, I can't get up in the morning, and then I have her over there in the corner that I have to stop more, and I can't get up so early like I used to, because I used to go for like 4+ hours. I used to go about 4 hours at a time. I'd get up, go 4 hours, take my 30-minute break to an hour, drive another 4 hours, and it'd be about time for me to stop soon, because I drive about like 9.5 is like, not driving 9.5 hours or so is 500 miles. So that's about the time I would stop. Now I stop every 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours for her. So normally I go from stopping from like 2 to 3 times a day to like 6. Like, minus the whole stopping to fuel and everything. So it's gotten a bit more difficult. But overall though, it's still a pretty cool job, to be honest. It's just the whole working schedule is the only thing that bothers me. But that's pretty much how it went for me for training. The only thing that was really hard about it was just, the way the job is just different from other jobs. And driving something this size when you're not on a highway, that's where I get really uncomfortable. Is when you get off the highway to look for where you're supposed to deliver or get loaded at. That's where I get the most nervous from, because I could be going down these narrow roads that I have to take things so wide to get in there, and then you can't take it so wide because there's people in the way, and it's so much. But you just kind of get used to it though. So like on the highway, I'm just kind of cruising. In the daytime, cruising. At the nighttime, I try to avoid driving at night, but I don't have a choice. Now that the sun goes down a little bit sooner. So it makes me uncomfortable, but... And then mountains. I still don't like mountains, guys. I still don't. And I'm rarely on them, especially the ones in California and Oregon, because I don't go that far west. I got lucky with this account that I chose, and it only goes Midwest to East. So I go about as far as Texas, and I come back to wherever. Kansas, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, those states. I don't think I've been in anywhere else. Another train? Jesus. So I got lucky with that. I'm getting really pampered. Like, I got an automatic and I don't go that far. Like, okay. So I got lucky with that one. But being that also that I went from being with my trainer who wasn't on a dedicated account to being on a dedicated account, the areas that I deliver to and get loaded at are completely different. Because one, I don't ever do drop and hooks. They're rare. I only do a drop and hook at like one place, and that's in Texas. One place in Texas. And everywhere else, I am getting unloaded and loaded in a trailer that I had already, that I got unloaded from previously. And so that takes more time, to be honest. And what was I going to say? And the areas are smaller. So where we were before was these big, and the bigger popular areas where it's dropping hooks, like just these huge, these long rows of trailers that you could just drop into space and keep it moving and pick up your next one. I have to make things work, sprinkle fairy dust on it and stuff, and make it and pray that it works and talk to myself as I do it, because that's what I do. I talk to myself. I mean, we all do, but I mean like what I need to do, and I walk myself through it out loud to get through these things, because it's woo. Some of these places I'll be like, you guys have the audacity to ask for deliveries from trucks this size. Like, you guys have the audacity, like the balls that you have, because the fuck, you don't deserve this at all. You don't deserve to have these. There should be someone that like inspects these businesses that say they want 18-wheelers to deliver and tell them yes or no by space requirements, because a lot of these places deserve a no. I'm just saying. And I've been sent to these places when I just started driving, and I was just like, why would you send me to these places? And I can barely do it. I'm new. Like, making this kind of stuff work, I don't know how to make it work. I'm still really new at it. I've had people, I'm not ashamed. I've had people hop in my truck and do it for me. I'm not ashamed. Because, why I'm not ashamed? Because I tried to do it for like 20 minutes. That's why I'm not ashamed. It's not like I got there, hopped out, and was like, hey, who can do this for me? No, I worked at that for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes. And somebody came out and was like, do you need help? Do you want me to do it? And I was like, yes, please. That's why I'm not ashamed. So I've had someone do it for me that was just rude and arrogant. And I was like, I don't need your help to do it. I need you to watch to make sure I don't back into anything. But he was like, no, I'll just do it. Whatever. But other than that's my thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, sometimes you might have moments where you have to look for somebody out here, where you're being delivered, where you're getting loaded or delivering at, or at a truck stop, and you might flag somebody down or knock on their door and ask them, can you help me get into this place? Can you spot me? Can you just make sure that I don't hit you? Because I've done that. I've asked them, like, can you just make sure I don't hit you? Like, I can get in here, just make sure I don't hit you. Just let me know if I'm getting too close, because it'll be some weird angle that I'm in, and it'd be really hard to just keep getting out to look, because you should get out to look, but it'd just be some weird angles. I'm just like, I'm not making any progress. Just honk if I'm getting too close, because if I have to only move a little bit at like a foot at a time, we're not going to get anywhere. So just don't be ashamed to ask for help, because everybody needs help. She's eyeballing me. With that weird eyeball of hers. But yeah. That was my experience. I keep thinking if I think of anything else. But yeah, I do the modified 45s. I can't even really describe what a 45 is. It's just basically only turning a bit to whatever. I can't even really describe it, but that's just what I do now. The space is not the same from what they teach you in schools. It's less. It's rarely more. You have cars that are in the way, because that's how they built their freaking company for some reason. So cars are parked there, whether it's the company's cars, people who work there, or customers. That's really annoying too. Or the trailers in the way because it's such a small space. It's just, But overall, at this point in time, I've almost been driving by myself for a full year, and I don't say I love it, but I love the fact that I have a job. So I'm just really happy about the fact that I have a job that I can do. My fleet manager is really cool. This is my third one, I think, because I had one and then they switched her, and then I had this other one, then she left, and now I have this new one, and we get along just fine. Overall though, the days don't go by slow anymore. They really don't. They only go by slow if I'm really anticipating when I'm going to stop. Like if I'm really anticipating, like today I was. But most of the time the days are just going by like this. I'm just listening to music, watching the cars go by, eating snacks, whatever, what have you. But it just gets better the longer you do it. Because the first couple months you're just like, oh my god, I'm by myself. I can't figure it out. And you have no one to ask, but did you figure it out? And then me being as scary as I am, I had to get used to sleeping in this truck by myself in the middle of wherever I'm at, this whole new state, this whole new area. That was something new. And then getting used to the truck itself, because when it would idle high, I couldn't sleep. When it would shut off, I'd wake up. When it would turn back on, I'd wake up. And it's just every time I would do those things, I would be awake. Now it doesn't even faze me. I don't even know it's doing that anymore. I don't even hear it at night. I'm gone. Like, that's how comfortable I've gotten. It took a couple months though. It at least took 1 full month of me being in this truck to get used to it. And now it's just like, being in here is like nothing. I'm so comfortable with it. You just kind of make it your own, put whatever decorations you want, or bring your blankets and your pillows. I got like 4 pillows in here, and I got a dog now, which is really what I wanted this dog for like 2 years. And I finally got this dog that I've been wanting for like 2 years and everything. So things just get so much better. So no matter how uncomfortable it is, if you decide to be a truck driver, it gets better once you do it increasingly for a more period of time. That sentence was really bad. That sentence was really bad. Wow. But it just gets better with time. That's what they say that about a lot of things, but it literally does, because you just feel really awkward. And it's just how any new job is, where you're really weird at it and you're still slow and everything, and you get to this point where it's just like you're just doing it. Granted, I'm still not the best at backing. Still not the best, but I surprise myself every time when I make things work. I'll be sprinkling magic on it. I'll be like, how did I do that? Because it's like, I'm not talking about the normal spaces. There'll be some weird things, weird, awkward, cramped things that I have to make it work. And then I'm like, I can't make this work. And then I make it work. And I'm just like, how did I do that? And then I'll get compliments like, you did a really good job. I'm like, thank you. You have no idea. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. Like, I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it and stuff. And they'll tell me like, you know, they'll tell me sometimes, some people will tell me like I've done better than others that have come here and whatnot. And I think it's also because a lot of people don't take their time. Like, you really have to take your time and go slow, because that's how you mess up royally and hit things. Especially where like the places that I've gone to are really cramped and you cannot go very fast. So it's been pretty cool, honestly. I mean, it's not like, you know, exciting how people make it seem for some reason that they want to come with me, but it's an interesting job in itself. So I quite like it. Now, granted, this job isn't for me to do forever. I don't know how people do this for 10 plus years, because I can't. I will not. I'm only trying to do this for 3. I think I'm gonna push for 4, but that is it. I cannot do this for some odd years. I can't do it. It's driving me crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. And it's just the work schedule. That's all it is though. But I don't regret this at all. I don't regret it. I did in the beginning, because I was like, crap, death, destruction, mayhem, Armageddon, oh my god. And then I do it, I'm just like, I'm such a big baby. It's fine. All you gotta do is be careful. I can't say be careful like you normally would drive your own car, because I see y'all can't drive. I see y'all in these cars. Y'all can't drive. Y'all don't give a damn about these 18-wheelers rolling down the highway. Y'all don't give a damn about your own cars and other people in cars, let alone these big-ass things rolling down the highway that you apparently don't see. It's impossible not to see us. We're huge. So that's another thing. You don't notice how bad people drive. Like, you notice how bad people drive, but when you drive these things, you really notice how bad people drive. But whatever. It is what it is. I don't regret this. It's still a pretty cool job. I don't want to say it's fun exactly. I don't know if I would describe this as fun, but it kind of is fun because I don't hate my job. I do kind of enjoy the fact that I'm working and I think it's because in my time in the military, I didn't have a job. Oh, the lighting just changed. That's really weird. I don't know. That was weird. But like in the military, I didn't have a job. I had a job that I went to school for and everything, and I was supply, but I didn't have a job. They had nothing for me to do. They didn't teach me anything. So being in something that I'm supposed to be doing something and not being able to do something and not having any knowledge of how to do it, it fucks with you. And I think that's why I enjoy this so much, because it's something that I can do. I can do on my own now, and I've been doing it on my own for almost a year. So I think that's why I enjoy it in its own way. And I look forward to whatever else I come across as I continue this little short chapter in my life. But anyways, I think this is long enough. I think I told you everything that I can remember. My phone is at like 15%. It just popped up and everything. And I think my other one is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up and do this one. And I will see you guys in the next one. And hopefully I won't look a hot mess. See ya.